There is a silent trap that millions fall into every single day, a trap so subtle, so quiet, that you don't even realize you're caught, until your entire life begins to feel empty. Today, I want to start with a truth many avoid. Most people build their life on things that can disappear at any moment, and when what you build on collapses, you collapse with it. So listen closely. Open your mind. This may be the idea that frees you from years of unconscious limits. The moment you decide to change your life is the moment everything begins to shift, because transformation never starts on the outside. It begins with a single decision inside you. Most people wait for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect feeling, not realizing that perfection is a trap designed to keep them exactly where they are. Life doesn't change when the world becomes easier. Life changes when you become bolder. And that boldness is not a miracle, not luck, not destiny, it is a choice. A choice to stop living by excuses, to stop letting fear whisper in your ear, to stop letting your past define your future. The most powerful turning point in your life is not a moment someone else gives you, it's a moment you create for yourself when you finally say, enough. I'm ready for more. Every breakthrough begins with a single second of clarity, when you finally recognize that the life you're living is too small for the potential inside you. That's when everything clicks. That's when your inner voice becomes louder than your doubts, louder than your fears, louder than every limit that has chained you for years. One decision can break patterns you've been stuck in for decades. One decision can push you out of the comfort zone that has quietly been killing your ambition. One decision can ignite a fire inside you that you didn't even know was still burning. People underestimate the power of a single decision because they think change requires massive moves, but true transformation is born in small, courageous choices that compound over time. And the truth is, no one else can make that decision for you. People can motivate you, guide you, inspire you, but at the end of the day, you are the one who has to decide. You are the one who has to rise. You are the one who has to look at your own reflection and admit that you deserve better than the life you've been tolerating. And the moment you make that choice, the world responds. Opportunities you never noticed start to appear. Strength you thought you lost starts to return. Confidence that once felt impossible begins to grow. Because when the decision changes, the direction changes. When the direction changes, the habits change. And when the habits change, the results transform. People say change is hard, but staying the same is harder. Staying stuck in a life that drains you is harder. Staying surrounded by environments that shrink you is harder. Staying controlled by your fears is harder. Change becomes easy the moment you decide you're done living below your potential. That single moment is your permission slip to step into a new identity, one built on courage, clarity, and conviction. The world around you might not shift instantly, but something much more important will. Your mindset will sharpen, your focus will tighten, your energy will align, and you'll feel yourself moving with purpose instead of drifting with doubt. That is the power of one decision, and it always begins the moment you decide to change your life. Most people live their entire lives trapped by the opinions of others, shaping their choices, dreams, and identity around expectations that were never theirs to begin with. They wake up every day trying to satisfy a world that doesn't even notice their effort, and in the process, they forget who they truly are. The fear of judgment becomes a silent prison, stopping them from speaking their truth, pursuing their goals, and taking the risks that could transform everything. The pressure to be accepted pushes them into a version of life that feels safe but suffocating, predictable but unfulfilling. When your actions are directed by what others think, you are no longer living, you are performing. And the cost of performance is always authenticity. The world will always have an opinion, but none of those opinions will ever pay the price for the life you choose to live. When you base your decisions on acceptance, you end up abandoning your own potential. Every time you hold back because someone might disapprove, you shrink a little more. Every time you silence your dream because someone might laugh, you bury a part of your purpose. It's a slow erosion of identity, a gradual loss of self, and you don't even notice how much you've disappeared until one day you look in the mirror and can't recognize the person staring back. The tragedy is not that people judge you. The tragedy is that you let their judgment matter more than your own voice. Truth is, people judge no matter what you do. If you fail, they'll talk. If you succeed, they'll talk louder. So why let noise dictate your destiny? The moment you understand that their opinions cannot build your future, you become immune to their control. You reclaim your freedom the moment you stop seeking permission to live your life. The moment you detach from the need to be liked, you begin to live with purpose rather than fear. You start making choices that align with your values instead of what looks good on the outside. And something powerful happens when you walk your own path. Confidence grows. Not because everything becomes easy, but because you are finally moving in alignment with who you are meant to be. That alignment creates a quiet strength inside you, a clarity that cannot be shaken by criticism or rejection. You stop chasing validation because you realize the only approval you truly need is your own. And once you reach that level of inner independence, opinions lose their power. They become background noise, while your purpose becomes the main soundtrack. People will always have something to say, but their voices don't decide your worth, your future, or your identity. The only voice that carries weight is the one inside you, the one that knows your dreams, your struggles, your sacrifices, and your potential. When you silence the world and listen to yourself, decisions become clearer, paths become visible, and life becomes yours again. You begin to rise, not because people believe in you, but because you finally believe in yourself. Every time you start comparing your life to someone else's, you slowly drain your own strength without even realizing it. Comparison creates an illusion that everyone else is moving faster, achieving more, living better, and somehow figuring out life in a way you haven't. But what you don't see is the struggle behind their smiles, the failures behind their success, and the sacrifices behind their confidence. You only see the highlight reel, never the full story. Yet you measure your entire worth against that incomplete picture, and it becomes a mental trap that steals your peace and blinds you from your own progress. The truth is, comparison is a thief that doesn't break into your life loudly. It slips in quietly, through scrolling, through conversation, through the quiet moments when you doubt yourself. And once it enters your mind, it convinces you that you're behind, even when you're right on time. The danger of living through comparison is that it disconnects you from your own journey. You forget the challenges you've overcome, the lessons you've learned, and the growth you've earned. Instead of recognizing your development, you obsess over someone else's destination. This mindset pushes you into racing a race that was never yours. You begin to rush, panic, and feel unworthy, not because you lack ability, but because you're using someone else's timeline as your measuring tape. When you try to live up to a standard that wasn't built for you, you exhaust yourself chasing goals that don't even belong to you. It's like trying to fit into shoes that were never your size. They will always be uncomfortable, no matter how hard you try. But you keep running, hoping that somehow, by forcing yourself into their path, you'll find fulfillment, when everything inside you knows that fulfillment can only come from following your own direction. What comparison never tells you is that every person has a different starting point, different resources, different struggles, and different timing. Some people bloom early, some bloom late, and some bloom in ways that can't be seen from the outside. Life does not reward you for being like someone else. It rewards you for being consistent with who you are. When you stop comparing, a powerful shift happens. You stop trying to compete and start trying to grow. You stop looking sideways and start looking forward. You stop feeling threatened by others' success and begin feeling inspired by it. You finally recognize that someone else's victory is not your failure, and someone else's progress does not block your path. There is space for you, there is timing for you, and there is purpose prepared specifically for you. When you understand this, you free yourself from the pressure of proving anything to anyone. You begin to value your own pace, your own milestones, and your own breakthroughs. Comparison weakens your confidence by making you forget what makes you unique. It makes you doubt your abilities and question whether you are enough. But you were never meant to be like them. You were meant to be you, with your own strengths, your own experiences, and your own potential waiting to unfold. When you reclaim your focus from comparison, you reclaim your power. You start pouring your energy back into your craft, your growth, your discipline, and your evolution. You begin to build a life that feels true to you instead of one that looks impressive to others. And the more you commit to your own path, the more you rise in ways comparison could never predict.